You made it all the way here, you creeping little maggots? Have you wriggled up to bow to me? Has Lohar sent you to beg forgiveness for his sins? My lord had faith. He came to me when Lohar failed the queen. And as a reward for my service, he has granted me his favor. He has granted me Mord Akhaim. You damnable fool! The death fog is not mine to use. I serve my lord in all things. He demanded that I secure the barrels, and now he demands your death. Them into the dirt. I can feel your pain, Godwell. It gives me such joy. Mercy! Mercy!
The Master Sorcerer throws up his pocked, cracked arms to defend himself as you step forward. The undead dwarf looks quickly over its shoulder, his gaze darting from shadow to shadow.
Of course! Of course! Anything! Just name it! I had no choice. They wanted to destroy the Death Fog. They haul barrels of the greatest weapons in the world off a ship and then decide to throw them in the ocean. We couldn't let it happen. We needed it. So I took control. What? Source?
The skeleton slowly lowers his arms, staring at you in disbelief.
Of course! You're God-woken. You seek power. Ultimate power. And I worried we could not find common ground. Yes, God-woken, I can teach you. If you swear you won't banish me to the afterlife. Am I not? How many others have survived the Magister's witch hunt?
The skull before you curls into a maggot-eating grin.
No, you need me. So I teach you and you spare me. Do we have an accord? Praise be. Very well, Godwoken. Listen carefully. Source and void, day and night, love and hate. One is meaningless without the other. To grow your source, to achieve your potential, you must embrace the void.
The grinning skeleton reaches into the folds of his robes and pulls out a small black mass. It's covered in veins and oozing pus.
Here, Godwoken. Take a bite.
The thick pus explodes into your mouth, coating the back of your throat. You can feel it running down your throat like rancid custard. You start to retch, your body struggling to reject this intruder, but your teeth clamp down hard on the fibrous, gritty flesh as you force yourself to chew and swallow. Deep within you, you feel something change. Your soul opens up. and you feel it swell as new channels for source start to flow through you. You swallow all you can, and despite the meat in your stomach, you feel a new space inside you, a potential waiting to be filled.
There, I held up my end of the bargain. I did as you asked, and now I'm getting as far from this cave as my bones will take me.
As he turns away, the skeleton hesitates. He turns back to you, thrusting a golden amulet into your hand.
Take this, and buy passage on a boat that will take you far, far away, Godwoken. His eye is on you, and I don't want to be anywhere near you when he blinks.
With a last suspicious look, Mordus hunches over and hurries away.
It's incredible. I've never felt so alive.
You feel newfound powers of the Source course wildly through your body. Deep inside your soul, a voice calls for you. It would be wise to meet with your god again by performing the Meister's ritual, here or in Siva's vault.
Melting away. Mordus turned the key into an amulet. Oh, cunning. Careful. Spotted a trap. I do not want to know what that smell is. Careful. I've spotted a trap.
I'm the War Owl! Hear all about it! Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy?
East, Marketplace. West, Driftwood Fishworks.
Fine, Thumb, you're a hero.
Come on, can't I go and play with the others?
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
What? Well, do you know anything? I'm already aware of that, establishment. We have an informal agreement. They show discretion and don't interfere with Magister duties, and in return we leave them alone. I can't believe they'd have any involvement in this. They'd be fools to act against us. Stop wasting my time, then.
You're doing okay, boy of mine.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this. Please, I must...
You glad you don't have the witness the sun hill?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Same as before, the spirit remains locked in a shocked trance.
The ring! It was right here, on my finger!
The spirit pivots her wrist, staring at the fingerless hand, utterly, morbidly entranced.
I should have been more careful. She hacked at my sword hand first. I couldn't defend myself.
The spirit stares, absorbing your question. Finally, she points her fingerless hand towards the kitchen. The spirit's lips part, trying to form an answer. But it doesn't come. She forlornly stares at you, unable to find the word. The spirit looks at you.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me.
The spirit inclines her. The spirit ponders.
Oh,
I'm here. I put down my feet, and she sang. My heart. And it's here. When the morning
must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this. A ghost? Peddle your children's tales elsewhere. I have work to do.
The cook smiles politely at you.
Another free bowl, perhaps?
Cooking notes. Wait, there's something wrong with this. Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this.
She grabs the note and glares at you, like a rattlesnake observing its next live meal.
You should have just kept out of this.
She gives you a defiant look.
Magisters are a blight. They deserve worse than the death I gave them. I wouldn't taint the earth with their carcasses. Better that they vanish into unsuspecting stomachs.
The cook shakes her head ruefully.
You should have just forgotten about all of this.
You've got enough in front of you.
Owning a head is a terrible...
Same as before, the spirit remains...
The ring.
The spirit doesn't... The spirit looks at you.
I was still alive.
Roll up, you bastard! Closer is coming to sing.
Didn't you hear me, you bleeding fool? Stay away from my bar.
Appeared! The sky clear.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses...
What? Well, What are you waiting for? Tell me! What? The bloody cook? It can't be! Well, why did Higba have that contraband then?
Come on, can't I go play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
A reward? You'll get nothing unless you can prove these claims.
Come on, can't I go play with the others?
No can do, chickadee.
How convenient. You're out to collect a reward, and yet you're the only one who's heard this supposed confession. Not good enough. Bring me real proof, or you won't see a scrap of gold. Now go! Unless you have proof that this cook is responsible, well, what are you waiting for? Tell me! What? The bloody cook? It can't be. Well, why did Higba have that contraband then? Then he's still guilty of something. I'm not calling off the manhunt until I have that fiend one way or another. As for this cook, do you have any proof?
Come on, can't I go play with the others?
The Magister snatches the note and peers at it.
These names, they're the ones who went missing. And others. My name is on here. The cook's been reported dead. How did you get this? Never mind, I thought she was another victim, but these... She must have been the culprit.
He shudders in disgust.
And to think she was so near to us, to me, all this time.
No can do, chickadee.
He holds out a pouch of gold. You try to take it, but he doesn't yet relinquish his grasp. With his free hand, he wags a finger in your face.
Keep this ugliness to yourself. I wouldn't want it thought that we Magisters can't solve our own problems without throwing gold about.
He lets go of the pouch and turns away.
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
Elsa, my inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me
Come
some
on,
more.
right away. Can't I go play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving my sight for a while longer yet.
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Right away.
The spirit hovers before you. It looks into your eyes and reaches out a hand of smoke and gossamer, silently begging you to take it. You feel the boards creak under your boots. The smell of salt and pitch fills your nose. You check the knots securing your cargo, hands moving over rough rope in the darkness. There's a shout from above decks, and then the world turns upside down. You're pitched violently sideways as the planks around you rip apart and black water floods in. You kick and thrash, desperately trying to reach the door to the deck above, but the current hurls you back, dashing you against boxes and broken planks. As your vision fades to black, you see the walls shudder as the peacemaker snaps in two. You awake to the flicker of torchlight and the sound of voices. Here, crack this and open. With locks like these, there'll be something good inside. You hear the snap of a latch being broken and a long, low whistle. Get word to Lohar. The Reds are shipping death fog. Send your fastest runner. Go! Help! You splutter weakly, your mouth producing more water than words. Rough hands grab you, rolling you over to stare into the face of a sneering dwarf. Well now, ain't you an unfortunate little flounder? She growls before clamping her hand across your mouth and nose. Sorry, hun, no witnesses allowed. You kick and struggle weakly, desperately trying to catch a breath, but the dwarf's grip is iron. As your vision starts to swim, you see other dwarves moving in the torchlight, hauling your cargo off the ship. You give one last kick and then darkness. Stepping back from the spirit, the feeling of her panic starts to slowly fade from your mind. The spirit hovers before you. It looks into your... You feel the boards. There's a shout from above deck. The current... As your vision... You awake to... You hear the snap of a latch being broke. There's quick... Well now. You kick and... As your vision's stepping back... The spirit hovers before you. It looks into your eyes and reaches out. You feel the boards. There's a shout from above. You kick and thrash. As your vision fades, you awake to the... You hear the snap. Help! Well, as you're stepping back...